Moving to Nashville and wonder just how far will your money go when you're buying a house? Let's take a look. I think a lot of people feel that they can buy a whole lot more house here in Nashville than they can maybe in some of the other areas that they're moving from. In most cases, that's true, especially if you're coming from a large metropolis, but like Boston, Chicago. But it's not always true. It just depends on what you need in a home. Today, my task is to find someone a $600,000 home. Actually, $550,000 to $600,000 is the max. What can you buy for that amount of money in Davidson County? 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and with a garage is preferable, but doesn't have to be. Well, Davidson County is an enormous area, and what you can buy for $600,000 varies dramatically as to, the distance to downtown, the walkability of the neighborhood, the lot size, the age of the home, the amount of renovation. It dramatically changes. So, there's a lot to look at. There's a lot to consider. On this show, Nashville Redefined, we talk about all things Nashville, what it's like to eat, sleep, play, work here in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee community that does consider several counties. We get calls and texts from people every single day saying, I'm moving. I now need you to help me find a home or show me some of the best locations for what I want in my life. And you know what, if that's you, if you've got those questions, then go ahead, call, email me, send up those smoke signals, whatever it takes so that we can help you. We've got your back when you move into Middle Tennessee. Well, go ahead and tap that bell because every time we do a new show, you'll be notified. Hate to have you miss out on anything. So today's mission is to find a home in the $550,000 to $600,000 price point. I am going to be FaceTiming, actually, some of my customers. So I was tasked with finding what can I find for $550,000 to $600,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in Davidson County specifically. And, when I did that search, there were only 24 active listings. Only 24 active listings within that price point. That's less than a 4-month supply, which is really low. And you've probably heard of this before too. A normal market. It's not a buyer's or seller's market if it's got at least 6 months supply. We have less than 4. And every price point is quite different. If you're looking at under 400,000, there's a much smaller number of homes to choose from. 550 to 600,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths homes. Today, there are 24 actively on the market, 37 or so that are current pending a sale already. So with only 24 homes to see, then I narrow it down even more because these customers that I'm working with don't want a condominium. They want a single family home. So with that, there's 11 homes to see. That's it. Only 11 homes to see in the entire market. Now, I want you to stick to the end because I'm going to give you the biggest key to finding the perfect home for you. You've got to stick to the end to see that, but that key is super important. There are 3 homes that are coming soon. It means they're not on the market yet. They're about to be on the market sometime within the next week to 2 weeks, maybe even 3. And each one has kind of different nuances. So if I'm looking for only 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, $550,000 to $600,000, get pre-approved, talk with a lender because you need to have in hand when you make an offer. You've got to have in hand that pre-approval letter because no buyer's accepting offers when they've got multiple offers to choose from that's at all iffy as to whether it can close or not. Oh, and by the way, one key thing you must know at every single price point, what is the list price to sales price? Meaning how much can you negotiate? If you're looking for a deal, then don't even bother with looking at houses that have been on the market for less than 60 days, 70 days, because there's no deals to be had really. Sales price to list price in this price point, $550,000 to $600,000, is sitting at 99.8%, meaning you're not negotiating. And in many cases, you're in a bidding war with multiple offers and having to pay above that if the house is pristine and in a phenomenal location. So today we're going to see 3 different homes. One over in the East Nashville area, one in what's called Creve Hall, which is kind of out toward the Nashville Zoo, very close into town, but larger lots, older homes. and then another one over West Nashville, newer homes in an urbanized area that has had lots of changes in the last 6 years or so. So very different homes, very different locations.
Let's head on over to East Nashville.
I'm here at a home that's coming soon. Now that brings us to another question. There's very, very little inventory for a lot of buyers on the market. So stick around to the very end and I'll give you the very best tip for being the winner of, finally get that house in a tight competitive market. Be sure to stay to the end. But first thing we got to figure out is what location you like to be in. I'm here at East Nashville. It's very close to downtown Nashville. It's a new build, which is very hard to find at that price point in some of the other areas of Nashville that you may be familiar with, like Belmead, Green Hills, Oak Hills, Forest Hills, Creve Hall. The new build at this price point is really tough. Not easy here in East Nashville. But if you want walkable neighborhoods to coffee shops, if you want to be able to take Fido out for a walk, get your coffee, have a stroll, have a great Sunday afternoon, and never get in your car, then this might be the good fit for you. Let's take a look at this coming soon.
One of the very unique things about this home is that it does have a 2-car garage. Often when you get small lots in a close-in infill location, you either miss out on the garage and you have street parking. But this house has its own 2-car garage, it's some additional parking, and it's tucked back to the back of the lot. Now, what you'll notice also when you first walk in is how clean, fresh, inviting. Very tall ceilings, enormous windows for great natural light. That is something you just don't find in the older homes that might have been built in the 20s to the 40s and 50s in this area, unless someone has completely gutted the house and rebuilt it. And if that's the case, it's not going to be in this $550 to $600 price point. So what is it you're choosing between? You're choosing between an older home on a larger lot without the updates and without a lot of the appeal of the newer homes at this same price point in this same east location. This house is only about 4 years old. It's got the quartz countertops, state-of-the-art appliances, hardwood floors, and in case you've never used these, that aluminum top on the island is amazing for baking cookies and doing things that need a cooler surface. I grew up with those. It's terrific. It's also great for playing beer pong, if that's your thing. Another very unique feature of this particular home is how much yard there actually is. There is an undercover deck, then there's an over roof deck. The decking has been built around the older mature trees, and this is fully fenced. They obviously have 2 very large dogs who use that as a deep dog run, but it's got good play yard. And again, that's a very unique feature of this home in particular at this price point and this location. This is a house that I'm 100% confident will go very fast on the market, and it's not inexpensive at 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and priced between that $550 and $600 price point that I've been searching for.
Of course, now the next door neighbor's finished cutting the grass. There's somebody weed eating over here. You are going to get that when you live in a close proximity to other homes, especially springtime. And if you're like me and you have massive grass allergies, you're going to be kind of miserable. It'll last 6 weeks, maybe more. Sorry. That's one of the things I do hate about living in Nashville. There's some other ones here. Take a look at that video.
Okay, let's head back into the car, going toward town and then around west a bit to get to the Sylvan Heights and Nations area of West Nashville.
Remember, the Mission is homes $550,000 to $600,000 price point. This is what you can find in West Nashville.
Actually, couldn't get into it. It's already pending. But what you have is a 1921 bungalow on approximately 0.2 of an acre, a fifth of an acre. It needs, every inch needs to be renovated, but it gives you the great location that so many are looking for. It also has a 2-car garage that probably will be torn down, but there is the potential to be a new garage there. It is in a historic overlay district. By the way, this house went pending the first day on the market. Hot area. We are going to jump on to 440 and head on over to the Creve Hall, Caldwell Hall area, close to the zoo. These homes were all built on much larger lots, as you can see. 50s homes. Now, this is pretty retro. People are kind of liking this. In our 50s homes, you will see a lot of the wood paneling, a lot of the same kind of layout. This is the perfect house for a HGTV show renovation. You can see how we take out that wall between the den and that front family room. Take out walls between the kitchen and family rooms. This is the ideal kind of home for that. This home also has, that's a carport, and then an attached apartment. Look at the original 50s cabinets with all those hinges. This would be a fun house to renovate. It went on the market, it sold very first day. People buy in this area because they want more space, they want more yard, they want an older, more established neighborhood, and they're not really looking to walk to a coffee shop.
The point of today's show was not to show you a home that you would fall in love with, and thank goodness, because they're all pending, but to show you that that very same price point, $550 to $600, is a very, very different house depending on which area of the county you're in. And just think about it, Nashville is several counties. So $550 to $600, I only showed you Davidson County and a couple of areas that would do. What if we expanded out into Williamson or Sumner or Wilson County? Which brings me to what I promised, which are the most important things to help you find the perfect home for you in Nashville. Number one is get a pre-approval. Know exactly what your numbers are. Don't get disappointed by thinking you can do one thing and you can't. Get pre-approved by a local lender who knows the laws and how to do things here in town. Also, other agents trust someone local. We frankly know it may not get done if you go to someone who's out of town or an e-lender. Number two, once you know your numbers, you need to learn the areas inside and out to know what's going to be the right community for you, and then get laser focused. So if you know that you need to be X amount of time from your work and you really don't want to be downtown and close to all the shopping and the Titans football games, and you like a really hip kind of vibe, then that East Nashville area might be for you. But if you're a family and you want the large lots and you want your kids to play football in the backyard, that's not going to be your spot. Get laser focused on what's most important to you, and then laser focused on the neighborhoods that will give you that based on your numbers. Number three is the same. What is the wish list? What's more important to you, the home, or is it the neighborhood and the small community that neighborhood is a part of? Which is the most important thing to you? If it's the home, then, and if it has to be a new construction and your price point is $550, then I've already showed you where you've got to go for that $550 price point. You've got to know what's the most important thing where you value. We as realtors can't help you with that. We can help you determine that. And of course, number four, the most important thing is find yourself a trusted person like me. Find yourself a realtor who understands exactly what they're doing, how they can make it happen for you, and have proven that they do it consistently. But the only way I can help you is if you reach out to me. Give me a call, give me a text, do what everybody else is doing. Reach out. I've got you back if you're moving here to Middle Tennessee. Now there's several other videos here to take a look at to learn more about Nashville or some of the surrounding counties. Until next week or next time, be blessed.